welcome back to the Love to Mom podcast. I'm your host, Jerry, and as always, I'm joined by my horse mother, Christy.
Oh, I was thinking the animal, not the voice. I was like, why would you say that? Well, hello, everyone. Got it. Okay.
Yes, now you get it.
I get it. I was like, well, that has nothing to do with the movie, and that's not a very nice thing to say to your mother. Oh, but I get it.
Yes. As the title suggests, we are talking about the hit 2003 film American Splendor, starring Paul Giamatti. This was my pick. And I think I said last time that this was the first movie that I added to my list of like possible ones to do on this show when we were going to do it. And so now we've watched it. And what did you think?
I really liked this movie.
Yeah, it's good.
Good
right?
job. Good job. You get a gold star, baby. I really liked this movie. And I, for some reason, had thought that I had seen it before. But once it started, I was, even with opening credits, I was like, no, I haven't seen this. I loved the style. I loved the way they put it together. I loved seeing the real people. It felt like a documentary. I mean, I just thought it was great. The way it was done was just top notch. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a really interesting kind of like style to it. Where I think I said this last time, but it's categorized as a meta biopic. Which, I mean, once you see it, that should make complete sense as like Harvey Picard is the subject of the biopic and he is in it, but also like his wife makes appearances and like his coworker. Who
I loved so much. Toby was a treasure. Absolute treasure. I love that character so much. Well, and that person.
Yeah, that person.
Which was so fun to see him. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So good.
It's almost like when you see him first, you're like, oh, is this like some sort of like characterized version of it? It's from the early 2000s. Is this like insensitive about people with mental disabilities?
Exactly what I was thinking, yes.
Yeah.
Until you see him.
And you see him and you're like, wow, that guy did such a good job of nailing that particular guy.
Oh, the way he speaks, his mannerisms, he nailed it. Do you know who that is? Judah Friedlander, I think is his name.
Yeah, that sounds right. Not off the top of my head.
He was in, you watched 30 Rock, right?
Yeah, I did.
He played Frank, the writer with the baseball hats.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Same guy. I did not recognize him at all. I went out to look at him just because I was so impressed with his performance in this movie. And so I went out to try to see what else he had done. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that's even the same guy. It was unbelievable to me because, I mean, no facial hair. I don't know. There was just something that was different about him. Oftentimes you'll see him kind of scruffy looking. Yeah. But I don't know that he had facial hair on 30 Rock either, now that I'm thinking about it. But he just didn't look anything like he looked in this role. Yeah. And what incredible talent to... Once you see the real person, and you see, and I love too that they had them in the same room together, where he and Paul are in the back chatting, and then Toby and Harvey are up front chatting, and I was like, I love that they're in the background of that shot, and and that we really did get a chance to hear his voice and him picking out jelly beans and stuff. It was just the best. I loved that. Yes. Oh my gosh. And that was Kurt Loder was the VJ that was hosting that particular intro. And I was like, oh my gosh, I watched MTV at that time. I might have seen it. Yeah, which is what a random thing, but I just loved it. I just thought it was so fun. I loved the actual footage that they put in this movie. I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, or that, great. Or like when he's on Letterman, and it's like where like Paul Giamatti will walk off stage, and then you actually get to see what his appearance on Letterman was like.
Right.
It's like genius.
And their dynamic was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I don't know. The style of it like really carries it a long way, I think.
It does.
Where I'm like, wow, this is different. I mean, like this is the most like creative biopic I think I've ever seen. Where it feels,
I would agree.
It feels like most other biopics are kind of like just telling straight narratives. But this one, it is, like you said, it's kind of a mix of a biopic and a documentary. Mostly because, like, the guy's there and he's able to, like, actually tell his story, which makes it feel more like a biopic. But also, like, the stuff that we get of, like, Paul Giamatti actually being him is fantastic.
It is.
And all of those scenes are really, really great. And I don't know if this needs to be said, but Paul Giamatti is fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like great, and he has the mannerisms down too. Like especially as the movie goes on, I was starting to notice it. Where I'm like, he does this like thing where he like sucks in like half of his lip, and I'm like, I've seen the real guy do that.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool.
Yeah.
Like as
Very
you're
impressive.
like getting to know the real person, then like you start to appreciate the actors' performances all the more. Where I feel like in normal biopics, you don't get that side by side. So
That's true.
You really get to appreciate the performances more here, I think.
And I don't know that Paul Giamatti necessarily resembles him physically very much, but he definitely captured him, the essence of him. I love the opening of this movie where the kid is like grumbling as he's walking down the street after trick-or-treating. And then it fast forwards up to Paul Giamatti with the same look on his face, just grumbling, walking down the street. It was just, there were so many moments that, that made me laugh, like were very, very funny to me.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed that. Let me just say while we're talking about Paul, that the other two people that I know that they had considered for this role, night and day.
Okay.
I'm going to have you pick one or the other and you tell me what you think. Okay. The first one is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, okay.
He's too handsome.
Yeah,
He's too young.
Especially at that time. Like
He would have been super young.
Yeah. It's
2003.
It's like Romeo Juliet, like early 2000s.
Yeah, 2003. When was Django Unchained?
That was like 2013.
Okay. Yeah, he was young.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Titanic was 97. So,
yeah,
like 5 years after Titanic. Okay, so he was one of them, which that's Bananaramas. And then here's another Bananaramas one that is for a completely opposite reason. Rob Schneider.
No. Those are all bad.
Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What crazy kind? I mean, like, Leonardo DiCaprio is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
Like, acting-wise, he could do that. He's too handsome. He's too, I don't know, all the things. And then Rob Schneider. Yes, he's funny. Yes, he has the humor and the wit part, maybe, of Harvey.
Maybe.
But the dramatic acting that's required in this role, and to have you be side by side with the actual person, you really have to be on your A game. I don't know that he could have done that. So
I think both of those are terrible options.
I know it was crazy to me.
I don't know if I could pick one.
No, I mean, maybe I would go with Leonardo DiCaprio just because he's a good actor.
Yeah, I think.
But he would not fit the role well. He would not fit the role well.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Uh-huh. I think the casting made the right choice.
I think so too.
Well, geez. I think maybe before we dive too far into it, we should maybe talk about Harvey Pekar and who he is, because I think that's pretty important to discussing this, because I didn't know who Harvey Pekar was. I'm assuming you didn't either.
No.
But for those who are unaware, Harvey Pekar was a underground comic artist in the late 70s, kind of throughout, like until like the early 2000s is kind of when he started stepping away from that, and then he eventually died in 2011. but his style is very, very unique because he didn't draw any of his own comics. So every single one of his comics is done by a different artist, which the movie does kind of try to like do, like especially when he starts meeting his future wife, and then she's like trying to like which one is he going to be? Because
I liked that.
that's really good.
I love that. She's looking around the where was she? Airport or train
Like
station?
train
She's
station,
seeing
yeah.
all the different versions of him. Like, which one is him? I love that.
Yeah, they're like one of them's a younger Brando and one of them's a troll. I'm like, yeah, that's really true.
Yeah.
But those comics are all just like stories of his real life. And because Harvey Pekar was the kind of guy to just like bitch and moan about everything, like it kind of made for like a perfect comic that appealed to a lot of people. Because it was just talking about everyday things that everybody was experiencing. He's kind of like Jerry Seinfeld before Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Where he's like the everyman kind of comic artist, still worked his day job as a file clerk at the VA hospital.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Which is like so funny. Like they do a good job of like contrasting that in the movie too, because like his comics got like a stage adaptation in LA, and he's constantly being flown to and from to Letterman. And then it just cuts back to him being a file clerk at the hospital. It's so
Yes.
funny.
I know. In the basement, like with all these paper files and I mean, it just seemed so dreary and dark down there. And
Yeah.
you
understand
it was the perfect
why.
job. Yes, I was gonna say it's like the perfect job for somebody who is so like sad all the time, like such a sad sack sort of person, you know.
Yeah.
That's the kind of job you put somebody like that in, where they're like, it just fits your personality to be hanging out in the basement.
And I think the location that they use in the movie is the actual hospital.
Oh,
because
that's
they
cool.
like at the end when it's like all the real people, they're celebrating Harvey's retirement. I'm pretty sure that's the same place. I was like trying to like look around, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is like the break room that we see like in the middle of the movie. And so if true, that's a really cool thing that they were able to do that. It can be really tricky to shoot in real locations and get lighting and everything, like especially in a dark, dingy basement like that. So that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And I do want to say, just while we're talking about that really briefly, the sets, like the inside of the grocery store, the outside of the grocery store, like the way that took me right back to the 70s. Wow. And to think like this was done in the early 2000s. So to be able to even find places like that in the US was kind of unbelievable.
Right.
And it was so nostalgic, like all of the signs in the grocery store on fluorescent paper. And, you know, there were just so many things as we're watching that. The one thing that took me out of it was the little handheld baskets that they were using at the grocery store. They didn't really have those back in the day. They didn't look like that. If they did, I don't ever remember seeing those until I was older. But yeah, I mean, it was just all the buildings, and they did spend a lot of time in outsides of buildings. He's walking a lot of places, and so you really are getting building exteriors, and it just had that 70s feel. The coloring was very 70s. I loved it. Yeah, that was very fun.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Cleveland. I've never been to Cleveland. Maybe there's just like a lot of places that are still kind of like that. Maybe not anymore, but maybe in the early 2000s.
I just remember looking at the signage on the outside of the grocery store and going, look at that sign. I mean, that probably is an original sign. Like I was thinking those things as I was watching it, because there's nothing else really happening in that moment. You are there to appreciate, I think, that's what I did, is to appreciate, like, look at the setting. The setting is just so great. Yeah, there's nothing happening to draw your eye away from it. All you have to do is look at it, and it just seems so real. I really appreciated that. Whoever did their set design and location picking and all that stuff did a good job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's like one of the best parts about this movie is like, especially like as the movie goes and you're like progressing through time, it isn't like I feel like sometimes when movies do this, and this may be like a modern movie thing, where it's like, we're going to talk about someone's life who was active from the 70s through the 90s. And so then like they add like a bunch of like markers of those decades where it's like, we're in the 80s, everybody is dressing in neons and they got their leg warmers. But like they do like little subtle things to indicate that like time has passed and different things are in style. And it isn't like as much like they're rubbing it in your face as it is just like authentic like dressing and wardrobe.
It's every day, how people dressed every day.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the dramatic. I think also because they were kind of bohemian.
Yeah.
They were a little bohemian. They didn't have to change their wardrobe very much, and it kind of stayed consistent all the way through because they were kind of hippies, you know?
Yeah.
She was. And so regardless of where they were in history, she had a certain aesthetic. And even when you see her, you see her with Harvey in the White Room, her jacket is super cool. And I'm like, she's still a hippie. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know. You're right, though. The 80s, the big hair, like, you know, as they're trying to show time progression, they do kind of go to the more stereotypical ways that people dressed, the more outlandish ways. And in this one, very subtle. It was very subtle.
It's very subtle. And I think, like, I really appreciate that as being, like, a history guy. Because it's, like, things are never the extremes. So whenever stuff is like that, it really, like, pulls me out. Which is, like, why I think I dislike season 3 of Stranger Things so much. Where it's like, we're at the mall. And everybody's dressed in 80s clothing. And we're going to end with a big cover of a huge 80s song. It's like, okay, that all is stuff that is unnecessary because the first 2 seasons do such a good job of establishing the setting and like the very real dingy 80s like aesthetic of the Midwest in the 80s.
Yes, I will also say though that going to the mall and wearing those 80s outfits was also that's what I loved about it, was because I felt like I was young again when I watched it, when they're at the mall, like, and you see a mall bustling. It's the most exciting thing. And so for me, it was like, that stereotypical 80s is a teenager's life in the 80s, maybe not an adult's life in the 80s, but a teenager who's on the front end of like, I wasn't, but in general, teens are on the front end of fashion and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
That is how they were dressing. But as an adult, you wouldn't have dressed like that.
No.
Like, grown-ups weren't wearing their hair mile high, and you know what I mean?
No.
My mom didn't have hair that was super tall.
Nobody looked like the Ramones.
No, except my friends in high school. I did have some friends that looked like that in high school.
But I don't know. I really appreciate that aspect of it.
I agree.
And I think especially, like I said, the first time I watched this, I watched it maybe a month or 2 after seeing The Holdovers for the first time. And I'm like, this scratched that itch exactly. Because I think The Holdovers does a perfect job at that, too. Not at necessarily showing progression over time, but, like, really establishing that setting and that time period. It's maybe the best at doing that as I've ever seen.
I love that. That's a great movie.
Pretty high up there. I really, really like it.
I agree.
But now we got everything out of the way. We got the Harvey backstory.
Except
kind of understand the story.
Yeah, that's who it's about, and you know, he ends up meeting his wife, and we see him kind of go through a long period of loneliness and sadness, and then she comes into his life. And in some ways, she's like a ray of light. And in other ways, she is struggling with her own depression.
Yes.
And he's frustrated with her being depressed. I'm like, Harvey, you've been depressed this whole time.
I know.
Granted, he was functioning. She wasn't functioning very well.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that. They were such a good pair. Yeah. They both were like very droll, kind of. I need to come up with a really good word, because I don't want to say sad sack, because that sounds like,
they are,
I don't know, kind of demeaning, but it's like, they're just kind of gloomy people. So they were such a good pair, but she also brought so much light. Like, okay, can we just talk about the apartment? That apartment
It's gross.
Whoa. I mean, if I was her and I walked into that apartment, I would have turned around and walked away.
Oh, yeah.
Like seeing all that crap on the floor and oh my gosh, that was just. And then the hotel room, they would show like they'd been in the hotel room for 2 days and it was trash. And I'm like, how do they live like that? He found himself the perfect woman.
Yes. Yes,
that she was willing to like, she's like, I've seen worse. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know. I was going to point that line out. It's so good.
Oh, man. Yeah, what a perfect pair.
And I love, like, he's, like, so matter-of-fact with everything. Like, the first thing he says to her is, I had a vasectomy, just so you know. Just so you don't go getting any ideas.
Yeah.
Right from the jump.
Yeah, it was so underwhelming. Their meeting was so underwhelming.
It was.
Especially after you're watching her look at all the people and try to figure out who they are. And then he comes in from the side.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, Joyce. Yeah. I mean, just so like, all right, let's go, you know, just whatever. I don't know. It was very interesting to me. They're interesting people, which made it very entertaining.
Yeah.
Because they're interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, they're subjects that you never see in biopics, which I think is like why I love this as opposed to other biopics. And I know we're going to be at odds here because you like biopics generally.
I love a biopic. Yeah.
I don't. I think in general they're all the same, and I'm frankly not interested in seeing like the same story told just with a different coat of paint. Where it's like I watched Walk the Line recently, and like that's like a very acclaimed one, and I'm like it's the same thing I've seen 100 times. Where it's like artists rise to fame, and then we cut, and then it's like then they died. And I'm like, okay, I could have got that. Like, and this is something that I wrote in like my most recent review of this movie on Letterboxd, where I'm like, if your entire plot of your movie can just be gleaned from like the first paragraph of their Wikipedia page, then like the story's not really worth telling.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a name that most people know. I think you can probably gather a lot of the story of this movie on the first paragraph of Wikipedia, but who knows who Harvey Pekar is to look that up in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about a Bob Dylan biopic or a Bruce Springsteen biopic because I can just look it up and like. Okay,
so I have a question. How do you feel about biopics that are about lesser known people? Like I think of Just Mercy with Bryan Stevenson. Is that more interesting to you because it's not someone who's famous? Like you don't know the backstory already. I see.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
So it's more just like entertainers, musicians, that kind of stuff. As you're like,
Yeah, or it's just like people whose stories have already been told so many times. Where it's like Elvis, like you really have to make something special for me to care about an Elvis biopic. And I think Baz Luhrmann did an okay job, but I'm like, I already know all this. Like, there's no reason in watching something over and over again. To me, it's kind of like the same thing with, like, if you reboot Halloween 5 times. Well, I don't need to see the newest one because I've seen the first one, and I really like it, and I don't need to see the same movie again. That's kind of where I am with biopics. I think what I like about them, because I'm trying to think, like, why do I like a biopic? Well, let's talk about Walk the Line. That's a good example. Sure.
Like, I know a couple Johnny Cash songs. I didn't know anything about June Carter Cash. So obviously I do not have a very deep knowledge of Johnny Cash and his story. So while I only know a couple of his songs and I would recognize him if I saw him, you know, like I remember seeing him on Hee Haw and those sorts of things or whatever. But I didn't know anything about his story. So for me, that was interesting because I'm not going to go out and take the time to read. I mean, I could read a biography about Johnny Cash, but it would take me weeks or, you know, at the very least, you know, 20 hours, let's say. Whereas I could take an hour and a half and watch a biopic about him and learn about his life and learn about like why the music that he chose and blah, blah, blah. So that's where I find value in it is like if it's somebody I don't know much about, even though if I know their music, I may not know about their life, then I'm interested. If it's somebody I know everything about them, chances are the biopic is going to let me down.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to hold, I'm only going to be thinking about the person who it really is and comparing to this person. You're right with the Harvey part. Like, I have no idea who this dude is. It's unbelievable to me that he had both a play and a movie made about him. Like, who is this guy? I mean, and the other part is, like, I am not a comic book person. So, but I cannot imagine that there are that many comic book people out there that would justify making a movie out of this guy's life.
I don't know.
Maybe. It just is very surprising because it's not very often you see a full-length film with A-list stars about somebody nobody knows about. Who
Right.
maybe you know him from Letterman when he showed up on Letterman. Maybe you do.
I think that's
that would
what
be
it is.
how that would have been how I would have known him if I had seen him on Letterman. But it's really kind of unbelievable to think about a bio. It's very novel to have a biopic about someone who is not that well known.
Yeah.
And have it done so incredibly well. I thought it was great. I really, I liked the way they incorporated the comic book, even in like the opening credits. Usually the opening credits, I'm like, meh, take them or leave them. I'm not necessarily going to watch them.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed the cells and reading reading the captions and then seeing why did they choose to use that image for this particular cell, or getting to see him in the opening credits. I was like, this is great. Like, it just was so fun.
Yeah.
It made the movie so engaging. The interweaving of the comic book style. Like, I'm thinking of the scene when Paul Giamatti is walking down the street, and then they move him into they move him into something that is hand drawn. I'm like, that is cool. Like, of him walking down the street. So it was like at that point, kind of, it was all mixing and melding together. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought that was so creative and fun.
Or there's that scene where, like, I think he's in, maybe when he gets the idea to start writing, and then, like, he closes a file or something, and then it cuts out, and he's in the White Room, and they kind of have, like, some, like, shelves and stuff that kind of make up the set, and then they, like, make it seem like they just finished shooting that, and then they cut across, and I'm like, that's really, really interesting, too. They do a lot with this format that like makes it very visually interesting.
You know what I'm just thinking is the white background. I'm thinking about that white background, which is in a comic, the background is white. I didn't even think about that, but that obviously was that obviously was a very intentional choice. I hadn't thought about that. Like, they could have made that background anything, and they made it white.
Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure, like, because they have, like, some props kind of, like, strewn about.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's totally meant to elicit, like, it's like a comic, and that's the paper.
Yeah.
And then you have your props and your subjects and stuff, and it's cool.
I hadn't thought about that till just now. That is really cool, because it was so different. It was such a stark difference. The movie had kind of this darkness to it, this kind of grungy, because he was dirty, and so everything felt kind of dirty. And then you would cut to the, where they're talking to the actual people, and everything is white, like bright white. It was so different. But I hadn't thought about that before, the juxtaposition with the art. And also, yes, the whole thing about him not drawing, I did not, that was so crazy to me that, he made this whole career out of just writing the comics and having other people illustrate it. That is such a unique thing.
Yeah, it's because he was friends with, I forgot it's Bob something.
Excuse me. Yeah, shoot. I lost it.
I don't know, but it's the guy who did
I can't
Felix
think of
the
it.
Cat.
Yeah. Was it Felix? I don't think it was Felix.
Felix the Cat?
Excuse me.
Bob Crumb.
Bob Crumb.
Yes.
But it wasn't Felix, was it? I thought it was a different one.
Oh, Fritz the Cat.
Fritz. Okay,
Fritz, yeah.
Fritz. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was an interesting person too.
Yeah. I like
and the fact that he saw potential in that was cool.
It is cool. And it's just like, this whole movie exists because Harvey was like shopping for records at a garage sale and just so happens to run into this guy who's not even doing comics and is just drawing greeting cards. And then that dude ends up like pursuing comics and like doing art, and then like Harvey just on a whim shows him this comic that is all stick figures.
Right. Well, and you think too, like the way I would have thought would have been like, well, I can't draw, so obviously this is not for me.
Right.
The idea that he used stick figures and was writing comics without drawing, you know what I mean? Without being able to draw. Like for me, it would have been like, well, I can't draw, so that's off the table. Right. The fact that he was still even considering that he can't draw. And then the vulnerability it would take for him to show that to someone who's very successful in that industry. And yeah, I mean, and to just take everyday things. It's not like it was a har sort of comic. It was observational, which was also really different. He has such a unique voice. That personality that he has gives him such a unique voice. Yes. Different than what you would expect in a comic, for sure. That also is a very interesting juxtaposition of like something that's normally so funny.
Yes.
And have it be more like kind of sad, really. Observational and sad.
Yeah.
Is really different. So.
Yeah. I mean, like that's kind of, but he's like really, really good at it. And like that's exemplified in like the covers of his comics, where it's just like he overhears some random conversation and then that's the cover. Like it's so cool how he's able to just like, he's always listening. And like that's probably why he's so mad and grumpy, is because he's like listening to the world around him. And
really true.
And he's just like pissed off all the time because like this guy said something stupid. And I just happened to hear it, but that makes me upset. And it's just so funny that like that tone is like perfectly captured in his comics.
Well, I think something else that's interesting about him is like you think somebody who's so grumpy and is depressed and lonely. Yeah. The connections that he has with the people around him are surprising.
Yeah.
The fact that the other guy continues to come back and visits him, like, and they're just sitting in the room together. He's reading a book. The guy is drawing him, you know, and it's like they obviously had a very significant connection that he would come home from, where is he at, California or something? Yeah. He would come home to visit him. Or even the fact that he still has a relationship with Toby.
Yeah.
You know, and Toby, while an absolute delight, probably is a challenging person to be around at times, I would guess. Just because of fixation or whatever. He seems to have certain fixations.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Right. And White Castle. It seems like he had all this stuff lined up on his dashboard. You know, he's living with grandma. And yet, this guy who is so grumpy is still kind and has a relationship with this person who would normally be maybe a challenging person to be friends with. Yeah. And yet he does. So he is interesting too, because he contains multitudes. This person you would think be like, you get on my nerves, like stop talking about that dumb movie, you know. I could see that. But instead, what you're getting is like discourse. He's talking with him, he disagrees with him, but he does it in the kindest way. Yep. And the fact that they're still friends is just really, it's so fascinating. Yeah. I could have watched a whole movie just about the two of them, just to see, like, what does that friendship look like? Yeah. You know, are they really close friends, or are they more like work buddies? Or, you know, I want to know. I just really liked that so much, the two of them.
They have like this really interesting dynamic. And like, I think what exemplifies that, there's this conversation pretty early on where it seems like Harvey's going over to pick on him about Lent. And he's like asking him, like, can I eat lentils during Lent?
Yes.
But then like the conversation goes and you tell they have like a relationship. They have like a really great rhythm to their conversations, which, you know, might be difficult, like you said, with someone like Toby to like match the energy and like go along with that conversation. But like it's pulled off really well. And then once we like zoom out and we see them like doing the jelly beans, then it's like, oh, that's like a real thing. Like they captured that dynamic perfectly.
Right. And them in the car.
Yeah.
I loved that scene with them in the car. And he's like, you can have a couple of my fries. And so he sits in, he grabs a whole box. I don't know if you watched him walk away with the whole box. But it wasn't, there was no condescension. There was no, like they were having a deep conversation And while disagreeing, I mean, here's the thing. He was willing to go with him.
Yeah,
240 miles round trip to go see that movie. Like, they are friends. They are friends. And this person who is like so negative about everything was willing to go with his friend who is so positive about everything. Like the two of them. Toby seems very like a very happy person. Mm-hmm. He seems very content with his life. Like, it's like a Felix and Oscar sort of thing from The Odd Couple. That dynamic is so interesting. While he and Joyce are both sad people and kind of negative people, then you have Toby and seeing the three of them going, and then Joyce and Toby getting along and having this wonderful conversation in the front of the car, and he's in the back like, whoa.
I hated that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was so, because it didn't feel like, okay, there are times you watch movies and it is, okay, I would definitely say that this movie is character driven.
Yes.
When I think about how we would describe books, whether plot-driven, character-driven, while it's telling the story of his life, it's definitely character-driven. And we are not given a lot with Joyce. We are not given a lot with Toby. But the little that we are given tells a ton of story. Like, just like what we're talking about here, it is very obvious that they have a very close relationship. He would not have gone in the car with them for 240 miles round trip to go see a movie that he didn't want to see if they were not really friends.
Right.
You don't do that to humor someone, you know? So they didn't go, wow, we're really good friends, aren't we? Yeah, you're my bud. Like, you know, we're seeing it. It's the show, not tell part.
Right.
Was done beautifully in this movie. Like, we didn't need all those details. We could extrapolate the story from what they showed us. And it's fun to think about what that really looks like in real life outside of that. And seeing them, and then again, just getting the joy of seeing them together on the screen in the moment. Here's the other part. Okay, I'm sorry. I just have a lot to say about this.
Oh.
At the end, okay, so normally you watch a biopic and they may, at the end of the movie, show the actual people.
Yeah.
And that's always my favorite part.
Me too.
In this, we get them throughout. Like, I always looked forward to the times Harvey came on.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved being able to see Joyce in the moment, like, and get more than a 5-minute cutscene at the end.
Yeah.
Get to spend time with them throughout the entire movie. Made it such a rich experience to be able to spend time with both, to see it dramatized, but to also spend time with the actual people. Yes. Was what an amazing way to do a movie. I loved it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep saying that, but it was so creative and fun. I just loved it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I love too, like, it isn't just like that we're cutting to them and then like maybe it's like a scene of them acting in real life and then like we just kind of get a vibe. It's like it is documentary-esque where they're like commenting on the scene that we just saw dramatized. They're like, yeah, this was going through my head and like all this kind of stuff. And it is like so fascinating in that like it feels more real than a lot of biopics do, where I'm like, oh, I'm sure they over-sensationalize that or whatever. It's like, no, like they were like, yeah, no, this really happened and it was weird and whatever. Letterman was an asshole. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. Like, I love that.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. Do you know that last scene was dramatized? Do you know the background on that? The last Letterman, so they showed the other ones, but NBC would not release that episode for them to use. They released the other ones, but not that one. So that's why they had to dramatize that.
I was kind of thinking about that earlier, earlier this episode. I'm like, wait, that is weird that like that one is the one that they had to recreate. But I guess it does make sense. I was kind of thinking, like, did he say something that they didn't want to include? But if it was, like, NBC wouldn't sign off on it, which obviously, because his shirt.
Yeah, NBC wouldn't sign off on it. And I also appreciated the fact that they showed it from, like, as if you were behind the scenes watching.
Yeah.
Because while we're used to the Harvey person switching back and forth, and it is very different to see a David Letterman early in that, because that's somebody who's so recognizable to you, and they haven't established it from the beginning. So I appreciated that they didn't shoot that straight on, because that would have taken me. Well, but here's the other thing: you're already not in it. Because you are seeing the behind the scenes stuff all the time. So it's not like it would even take you out of the movie. I just think they would have tried to find somebody who looked like him, you know what I mean, to cast it that way. And it just doesn't seem like it would be appealing like the other ones are able to do. So.
Yeah, Letterman's a difficult person to, like, cast. Because there's also, like, so many different eras of the guy.
Yeah.
And, like, there's so many people that can do a Letterman, but it's like, do you want to get someone who can do, like, a impression, or do you want someone that just kind of, like, captures the essence? It's better just to shoot him from the back. He'll say a line or two. Agree. But it's mostly about Harvey's rant. Which is great. Like, I don't know. It's brilliant.
I really. So here's the other thing that I was thinking about with this movie. I was looking up the cast. There were a few people I did recognize. Obviously, Paul Giamatti is one. The other one is the girl that plays Danielle, his daughter, which I loved that too, by the way. Yeah. I loved seeing him be a dad. That like broke my heart open. I loved it so much. Yeah. The girl that played his daughter was the oldest daughter on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, okay.
And it was her and her twin brothers, her two younger twin brothers, that played Raymond's three kids.
Oh, okay.
On Everybody Loves Raymond. And so I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, like, she looked really different. That was cool. But Hope Davis, who played Joyce, she's in other things. She is still working.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I've seen her in anything else. But she had the cutest little face. I liked her nose. She had a nice little nose. It was very cute. Yeah. Kind of elfin features, I think.
Kind of, yeah. I know she's in Succession and Asteroid City. So that's like, I kind of recognized her from that. But even then, that's like 20 years after this movie came out that was coming out. It's like, she's in stuff, but like, she's a working actor. It is, she's not like a A-list celebrity.
No. And then she was great. Yeah. She was nominated for some stuff, which was good to see her acknowledged.
Yeah.
So Frank, the guy who played Toby, so I knew him, and I knew Paul Giamatti, but I didn't know him until I looked him up. And then once I looked him up, then I was like, okay. But the guy who plays their boss.
Oh, Mr. Bones, I think.
Mr. Bones. At first, because we're only seeing him through that file shelf, I thought it was James Earl Jones, and I was so excited. Oh. Because you just catch a glimpse of him, and I saw the round glasses, and it makes me think of James Earl Jones in the Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
And the suspenders. I was like, oh, is James in this? And then I was like, oh, no, that's not James. But he also was wonderful. I really liked him a lot. And it looks like he's kind of a character actor. Yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff, but I didn't really recognize him from anything.
No, I didn't either. But, like, perfect. Like, I don't know how accurate, like, because they do kind of, actually, I don't know if he shows up at the end. I wonder if he, like, retired by the time this movie came out or whatever.
Oh,
but, like, I was kind of looking for him, and I didn't see someone that kind of matched that description. But, like, when they show, like, the comic style of, his name is Mr. Boats. I have it up on.
Oh, Mr. Boats. Okay.
It's like a perfect encapsulation of his like cartoonized character, where like he has like these big glasses and the suspenders, and like he kind of has like a big lower lip, and I'm like, that's like a perfect like casting based on the cartoon.
On the cartoon of it, yeah. And I loved the soundtrack too, like the music that was playing in the background with the jazz, knowing that was, one of his favorites. I liked that was the, there were moments when I noticed the music. And one of them was that scene where she's looking for him, and it was just like this twinkly piano jazz behind her. And I was like, gosh, this is good. I really, really like the music they put behind, and that was such an important component of who he was.
Oh, yeah.
I also loved his shelves.
They're all
the fact that he has garage metal shelves in his house, and they're all like bowed under the weight of those records. We know those things are heavy.
Yes.
But that was really funny. Like the amount of records and crap in that house. I was just like, oh. Yeah, it just killed me.
It's so gross.
Yeah, it really was. It really, really was. But it was, I don't know. I just really, really liked it. And I loved that in the end, she got a child to raise, which was lovely. And I was so happy for her.
Yeah.
Because you could tell she was so good with her, and like there was so much love there. It was very sweet. Anyway,
it was really sweet. Yeah, and I saw on IMDb on Harvey and I think Joyce's page, they have some photos that were taken like maybe a year before he died or something, and we see her grown up.
Oh, really? I need to go look at that.
Yeah, it's they're really nice. It looks like they just like took some pictures on the park, and I don't know why they're on IMDb, but they are.
Does it say? I should have looked into this, but I didn't. I wonder what she ended up doing, because there was a part there where she was saying, it was at the end of the movie, and she was saying she wanted to do, was it writing? And he's like, are you going to write about me? And she...
Yeah, the comic. Whether she was, because she was going to make her own comic.
Yeah, and it made me wonder, like, what did she end up doing? It kind of felt like it was kind of a nod, but maybe not.
Okay, I am mistaken. I want to correct the record.
Oh, okay.
It's a picture. It's Hope Davis, but she has blonde hair, so I didn't recognize her.
So she stayed friends with him?
I guess.
Or no, I thought you.
I don't know.
It was because she was grown up that you were thinking it was within the time.
Because I was like, got it. I see. But there's also a picture of Harvey in here with Paul, and Paul has a goatee, and I don't know when that was taken.
Wow. I wonder if they did remain friends. That's kind of fun to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. I did really like, we mentioned this scene a bunch, but it's the jelly bean scene, and you see the two people playing them in the background, or they're like cracking up. They're like, they're listening to the conversation and they're laughing. And I love that too, where it's like we get to see that there is this like relationship between like the real people and the actors. Mm-hmm. And it's just so fun to see.
Oh, yes. I liked who doesn't know the ache of having all your jelly beans in a bag together and like which ones are cinnamon and which ones are cherry.
Right.
And, that whole conversation. I loved it. And talking about the pina colada ones. And I don't know. It was just such a sweet little moment.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great. The other scene I liked, there was a scene where he's walking on that bridge over the top of an interstate.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
And it's like kind of time lapse a little bit where he jumps forward. But then there's a point where he turns sideways and he's looking over the edge of the bridge through this fence, and all the cars are running under him. And that was visually, I just really liked that scene. I was like, that's nice. I like that. Just visually, it was pretty. The other thing I think I did visibly say, like when they walked into the house, like if we're talking about big reaction moments, when he first meets her and she walks in the house, I figured for sure he was going to have it cleaned. Yeah. And then she walked in and I gasped. I was like, oh my gosh, look at that floor. Oh no. I was talking back to the TV. Like, it was such a big reaction, but I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure it was just going to be spotless when they walked in.
And I love that he says, like, I didn't bother cleaning it up because I didn't want you to get any false impressions.
Right. Which, how real is that?
Yeah. But it's like with that and like the vasectomy line back to back, he's like, I'm getting everything out in the open. Yeah. You know everything, so you can't throw it back at me.
That's right. I've been through this twice before.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what it's
Yeah.
gonna be. And
Well, and you see, I'm sorry, you see when his second wife walks out that the house is clean.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, and so when you see it start to deteriorate, it's like, oh, this is a whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh geez, I lost what I was gonna say.
I'm so sorry that I should have stopped talking. But you
It's
know
okay.
that if I would have stopped talking, I really would have lost it because
Yeah.
my memory is so bad. It'll come back to you.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, no, I don't know. Do I have a whole lot else to say? I feel like I've pretty much said why I love this movie so much. I think it's great.
Oh, I do too. I want to say I was looking at IMDb. I was trying to find awards that it was nominated for. And it, for some reason, it didn't feel like it was in the same place it had been in the past. And I wasn't seeing any. And I'm like, this cannot be right. There's no way this wasn't nominated for something. I was so upset on the inside because I had just finished watching it. I'm like, it had to have been nominated for a lot of things.
One thing.
So let me tell you. let me tell you. It won one.
Okay.
It was nominated. Let's see. Hope Davis was nominated as Best Supporting Actress for a Golden Globe.
Okay.
It won Movie of the Year, AFI's Movie of the Year that year.
Oh.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
At Sundance, it won the Grand Jury Prize, so that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And the Writers Guild of America gave it Best Adapted Screenplay. And the Golden Globes, the Oscars, it was nominated and won for Best Adapted Screenplay for Sherry Springer Berman. So
and Robert Pulcini.
And Robert Pulcini, yes. And Robert Pulcini.
Because they are a writing directing duo. I don't know if they're husband and wife.
Yeah, I don't know.
I should have looked that up, but they were. Oh, I'm seeing some photos where she's like has her arm around his waist. So I'm assuming it's a husband and wife duo.
That's so nice.
But that's cool. They're still working. Looks like they.
Oh, are they?
Oh, here's some connections. They directed a couple
please.
episodes of Succession. So.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There's that connection.
That's cool.
But they've also directed a few episodes of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, that's a good show.
So it looks like they do mostly TV these days.
I like it. Yeah.
But
well, TV is like movies these days.
Yeah.
It's prestige.
Mm-hmm.
And you're working with like high caliber talent. Both of those shows have really high caliber talent. So that's fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. Succession is not really, I mean, I haven't seen it. I started watching it and I'm like, I don't like any of these people, so I'm not going to keep watching it.
That's fair.
But is it funny? Is there anything humorous in Succession, or is it all just like fighting and like kind of what the impression I got was like a lot of backstabbing, fighting sort of stuff, but I don't remember seeing humor.
Here's what I will say. I think the Emmys like grossly miscategorized The Bear as a comedy. I will say Succession is funnier than The Bear.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
didn't know there was any
categorize
humor
it
in
as like a dark comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because what I was thinking was like this movie had both drama and comedy in it, and I was thinking Succession was more drama, but yeah, I mean, this was mostly drama with some comedic stuff in it.
Yeah.
And I would say the same is probably true of Only Murders in the Building. I don't know that I would consider it a har sort of comedy. There are amusing and funny things, but not like a traditional 3-camera sitcom or like a Veep or something where they're just flying with the jokes all the time. Anyway. Well, yeah. So anyway, it did, but I didn't see, there were a few nominations for Paul Giamatti, not as many as I was expecting, to be honest. I really thought there would be more nominations for him. But I am glad to see the Best Adapted Screenplay, and that they did credit both Picard and Joyce as co-writers.
They did. And I think that's mostly because they used the comics and graphic novels as like adapted.
Oh, sure.
So it was like original story by Harvey Picard, the American Splendor comics, and then Joyce Babner, I think, was credited as the Our Cancer Year.
Yes. So, well, we need to find out what Danielle is up to because I want to know if she's doing comics. I think that would be the coolest, wouldn't it?
It would be pretty cool. I don't know.
I know. I mean, I wonder if she took their name, if she was ever like officially adopted.
Yeah, I don't know.
It didn't really say.
Danielle Batone is what she's credited as.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find her. I am curious because it did kind of seem like it was, that they were giving like a nod to Future. Sometimes you get that,
Yeah.
Is it Battone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if that's her. There's a therapist out there. What else? What are you seeing?
No, okay, she is interesting. She's an interesting lady. I think this is her. She has a Twitter account.
Okay.
Her bio says, her bio is, I am Harvey Picard's ward.
Okay. Okay.
I like David Lynch, photography, film. I paint, draw, tattoo, sculpt, and make something out of nothing. In her profile picture, she's wearing a pentagram on a necklace, and she appears to have dyed her hair black. She's like an edgy goth artist lady.
Okay. Oh, wait. Is this her? I might see her right now. Oh, I see her.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Oh, is it a Swiss Army knife with chameleon capabilities? Is it this person? Sorry, audio people.
I think so, yeah. You looked her up on Facebook.
I looked her up on Facebook.
I don't know. This Twitter hasn't been updated since 2015. So I don't know if this is still accurate, but this is her Twitter.
Well, she is active on Facebook 1 day ago.
Oh, okay.
So, interesting. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe because they were, talking about that and about, it was like, oh yeah, maybe she did end up growing up to do that. And so it was like this nod to her future career, but
I don't know. She turned out to be an artist.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Photographer and all that. Like her dad was a photographer and
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Her dad, was a comic artist. The drawer man.
Did he do photography too? Why am I thinking photography? I don't either. Okay. No, I'm thinking of something I watched earlier today with Steve Hartman.
Okay. I don't know where you're getting photography.
That's where I'm getting it. It's from a thing that a project Steve Hartman is doing, and he had a photographer that he was taking with him to do still photos of things.
Oh,
okay.
That makes sense.
Got it. Yep, got it. Okay. That's where I got it. Anyway, excellent choice. Very good movie. Yeah. I very, very much loved it. I have not rated it yet. I think I'm going to give it, 4.5 stars. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent movie. Really, really and I had not ever heard of this. This is a treasure that is buried.
It's a hidden gem.
Do a lot of people talk about this movie?
I don't think so.
I haven't really heard anything.
I just knew it because it's on my poster and it had Paul Giamatti in it. I did see that it was like an HBO original. I saw that flash before the movie. So I was kind of wondering, is that why people don't talk about it? Is it lumped in the made-for-TV movie camp? I don't know. I don't know if HBO made a bunch of original movies that stand on their own outside of that kind of lane.
Especially at that time.
Yeah.
I could see them doing stuff now. I mean, Amazon Studios and whatever. It might have been at the very beginning of that. Let's see. Sopranos was in the 90s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
98.
HBO would have been considered prestige at that point because of the Sopranos. They would have gotten a lot of, cred for that.
Sure.
So I could see it being something released. I just don't remember ever hearing about it or seeing anything about it.
Yeah.
Nothing. I had nothing, but it was so good. Like, I'm going to recommend this to people. I'm going to tell my friend Catherine to watch this.
It's good.
She will like it a lot, I have a feeling. Yeah, I think she'd really enjoy it.
Wow.
Anyway.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
I can
glad
think
you
of
liked
people.
it.
I really did. It was so good.
So you're saying this is a better pick than Dune?
Oh my gosh. Night and day.
Okay.
Night and day. This was excellent.
That was what I was trying. I was trying to
Within-
do a 180.
As soon as the credits started, I knew I was going to love it. Like, truly, from the very beginning, I was like, okay, this is... It was so creative and interesting from the very beginning. And as soon as I saw him, then I was like, oh, I'm really going to love it. Because that is what floats my boat, is like people.
Right.
The getting to know people and then getting to see the people. As soon as I saw that, as soon as they cut to that first white scene, and I was like, oh, I am in this so hard. I was so excited to finish watching it because I just love it. It just scratched every itch. It was great.
Yes. Please make more biopics like this that are super stylized and include the real people if they're still alive.
Yes, I love it.
But I also, this might have been what I was going to say about biopics and like why I think sometimes they fall flat, where it is like, it feels like they over-glorify their subjects in like a weird way. I think like the Bohemian Rhapsody one about Freddie Mercury is like the biggest offender in that case, where it's like they do brush up on like the like drug abuse stuff and like the partying and whatever, but it's also like Queen played in South Africa during apartheid and like at a time where like artists were like boycotting the country for that reason. Like they've done some shady stuff and the movie just like glosses over it because Brian May and the drummer, I forget his name, were involved. And I'm like, well then what's the point? Like that's not a biography. At this point it's just a greatest hits.
Yeah.
And like I don't really care about that.
I think so. Rocket Man kind of came out at that same time.
Yeah.
And the thing that I found interesting with that was he allowed them to be pretty transparent with some of his struggles that would have been easy to say, don't put that in there, especially his mental health issues.
Yeah.
So I admired, it was the juxtaposition of those two films coming out at the same time where it was like, okay, I'm sure there were some things that were glossed over in Rocket Man, but there was also some things that were included that would have been extremely vulnerable to be put out there for everyone to see. And I admired that a lot.
Yeah.
But also Freddie Mercury is dead. And so there's some of that too, where it's like, oh, but we want to keep him an icon and we want to,
We want to sell Queen shirts at Target.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I mean, and they were incredibly and are incredibly talented. Like there's no question about that. But it's okay to say when you make a bad decision, it's okay to say that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think like in general, the kind of like scrutiny that we give historical figures in biopics should be applied to everybody that we make a biopic about. And that's what I think I really appreciate about this, and I guess Harvey in general, is that he's really like willing to just lay everything out on the table.
Yeah.
Like, look at all of my flaws. Like, that's what his comic is, and that's what this movie is. And it's just so refreshing to see like a real person and feel like you're really getting to know them and not just like the idea of this person,
Well, I think too, like it kind of makes you feel like maybe you need to wait until that person's dead to do a biopic when they don't have any input, or I guess then their family might have input. But like I think of the Judy Garland one that they did a few years ago with Renee Zellweger, where they were really delving into her drug addiction. You would never have gotten that if she were alive. And so part of me is like, it's probably better to wait, so that you can get the true story and not something that is created and crafted around what that person wants to put out there.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. It's almost like we should wait like 100 years before making a biopic about somebody.
So somebody's so far removed, they're not going to be invested in making sure they're portrayed the right way. Yeah.
Or like their family, it's like their great grandkids, and they're like, whatever. Like, I might be distantly related to like Bruno Mars, but yeah, show his like huge gambling habit. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. The problem with that is you lose the firsthand accounts to be able to build something that's credible, unless you have a lot of documentation and stuff. I think about like Walt Disney or something where, he still has great grandkids. They have a financial investment in making sure that his reputation stays a certain way.
Sure.
Because they're continuing to benefit from that. But also you're starting to have people who actually worked with him directly are dying off.
Yes.
So you're not going to have those firsthand accounts unless you are working to document it now.
It's true.
So it is complicated for sure. Like historical figures, like Ron Chernow just put out one about Mark Twain that's like 1,000 pages. He's such a good author. He did the original Hamilton book that the musical was based off of, but he's known for being an amazing biographer. And Twain is like 1,000 pages long.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but there's so much because he was an author. There's so much written.
Oh, sure.
So many written words and things. And at that time, letters that you could actually get your hands on.
And there's a lot of interesting stuff. It is
he was a character.
Yeah, there's not like stuff where you're like, and then there was a couple years where nothing really eventful happened. It was like, no, this dude was like constantly running into stuff. Like,
yes, he was.
Like, wasn't his, am I getting him? Oh, I think I'm getting him confused. There's a apartment complex in New York that is supposedly haunted by Edgar Allan Poe.
Really? Oh, I hadn't heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's near NYU because it's mostly from like students walking to classes. They'll see like a figure in the window, and then like it's like, no, actually that apartment is vacant, and there's like nobody was in there, but people see him. That's freaky stuff.
That's freaky. We think we have a library ghost.
Oh.
Because every day my office door is locked. Well, that's not that weird, Christy. Yes, it is. Because I never close my door when I leave for the day. I leave my office door open because I keep the chocolate and the candy in my office. And so I want people who work at the library to be able to get to the chocolate and the candy. So I leave it open. But every morning I come in and I hang my coat on the back and I sit down, and then sometimes I'll need some quiet or somebody comes in to talk to me, and I close my office door and it is locked every time. You have to manually lock it. You have to push the button in. So then I was like, well, maybe it's getting hit on the door stopper. So then I put something behind my door so the doorknob can't hit the wall. Still locked every morning. Then I left a note for the cleaning person, and I was like, hey, Pa, who's a delightful man. I love him. Pa, please don't lock my door. Because then I have to get up and I have to do the whole thing to try to unlock it, and people try to come in and I don't know it's locked. It is the whole thing. Okay. So I left him this note. English is not Pa's first language, and so he was struggling to understand my note. So I happened to be there one night, and he came in and he was like, can you explain? I said, yeah, I think you must be locking my door at the end of the night when you're cleaning every night, because every morning I come in and the door is locked. He's like, no, I never touch your door. I said, well, what if you have other people coming in to work with you? Like his wife comes in with him sometimes. And he's like, no, my wife would not do that. And I was like, okay, weird.
Yeah.
Weird. So now we look every morning, is it locked? And I'd say about 50% of the time it's locked.
Weird.
We can't figure it out. It's the weirdest thing. And then my other coworkers, like books fall off shelves.
Sure.
When she comes in early in the morning. And then 2 weeks ago, library shelves are heavy. They're like metal. And there was a shelf that had a ton of adult fiction James Patterson books on it. And it's has like a groove that you have to lift the shelf up, and then you put that little thing in there to hold it up. You know what I mean? It's like a metal little taggy thing.
Yeah.
So you actually have to, in order to remove the shelf, you have to lift it up and then remove it from the little slot. And this shelf was removed on one side, and all the James Pattersons were on the floor. And I'm like, how does that happen?
That's weird.
I know.
And
Spooky.
sometimes when you're working at night, the books are flying behind you into the different shelves,
I know.
like Ghostbusters.
That is exactly what I think of, because that is the scariest thing. That ghost in the library, that lady. Yeah. I think about that. Sometimes I stay and I work late, which I shouldn't do because I'm there by myself at night when it's dark, and it spooks me out so bad. I have to turn on music and stuff so that I don't think about that crazy ghost from Ghostbusters. Anyway, it's a whole joke thing we have going on, but it is weird that my office door keeps getting locked. Anyway.
It is weird. You should sage the library.
I have some coworkers who are seriously considering it. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's weird. Anyway, okay. Are we going to talk about? Okay, so if we go every other week, then that would mean the next time we're recording would be the weekend you are coming to visit us.
That is true.
I'm very excited about this.
Okay.
And I think I would like to invite a special guest star. Can I invite a special guest star?
That's fine with me.
Okay, so I got a text yesterday from my daughter telling me that we need to watch. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, because she asked me to pick it.
So I think we should.
Okay.
It's timely. Everybody's watching it.
You need to say what it is for everyone else.
It is K-pop Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
We're going to give it a wing.
My specific message, she sent me a message and said that we should do it. And I said, yeah, I had a friend tell me about it. Doesn't really sound like my thing. Mom can pick what she wants, though. And I see that she took my advice to heart. And your camera froze. It's a little throwback to last week when your camera was doing that all the time. So that's pretty cool. Big fan. I don't have a pen. I don't know where it is. Where's my pen? Oh, you're
Okay.
back?
I'm back. I switched to my hotspot. I don't know why.
Your internet
sorry.
just died.
Yeah, I mean, it was still showing full bars on there. I'm not sure what happened there, but anyway,
Weird.
hotspot to the rescue. Yay.
Yay.
Your local library may have a hotspot, friends. If you ever in need of internet, go to your local library.
Yeah.
Okay. It is one of the most popular items that we have. We have over 50 of them, and there is always a wait list. Isn't that crazy?
People need internet.
Okay. People really do need internet. Okay. Anyway.
We're going to do K-pop.
So you were... Yeah, we're going to do K-pop Demon Hunter, and she sent me a text, and it said, Mother, I require you to choose K-pop Demon Hunters for your next podcast movie choice, mainly because I want to rewatch it, but its music is up for awards, and it's, I think, the most streamed animated movie on Netflix.
I think that's true.
Pros,
also.
it's very funny, has good music, good characters, cute animals, cool costumes. Cons, it's technically K-pop, but it's so good. Is that a thumbs up or a yes? Because I liked it. She's like, is that a thumbs up or a yes? So I talked to her before I came in to record, and I was like, do you want to be a guest on the podcast? And she said she would, but I don't think she realized we were going to be in person, but I'm going to tell her, and I'm sure she'll still say yes.
Yeah. I'll have to
That'll be fun.
to bring my camera.
Here's the other thing. I had this whole thing in my mind of what I was going to pick. And just inside baseball, it's Labor Day. And I had a movie that I was going to pick that was kind of related to Labor Day.
Oh.
But it will have to wait till another time.
Okay.
Because we're going to watch K-pop Demon Hunter. I know nothing
boy.
about it.
Oh,
I know
okay.
nothing about it. Are we going to get in trouble if we don't like it? Are people going to
Probably.
be upset with us because
yeah.
it's K-pop?
100%. Yeah. The K-pop community online is like one of the most vicious communities of people alive.
Uh-oh.
And they have
Did I just open a giant can of worms? What if we really hate it?
Yeah, this is going to be
I don't know if I want to do that then.
Well, if we don't like it, I'm probably not going to like it. But if you like it, then at least they'll be nice to you.
But I don't know if I will. Maybe I shouldn't pick it. I don't want mean people.
Just don't read the comments.
Oh, I don't want haters on there being mean.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do what you want.
What if we get like 50 million thumbs down? then I'd feel really bad.
Hey, then at least we got 50 million people to watch our podcast. Any publicity is good publicity.
Here's the thing. I'm doing personal development, and I am trying to get over my people pleasing. So this would probably be good exercise for me to be like, you know what, if people don't like it, they don't like it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's think of this as a therapeutic exercise, shall we?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do it.
Okay.
Let's do that one. I'm going to
Make
us take a stand. I'm going to take a stand.
All right. Next time.
Okay.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Next time.
One of the most acclaimed movies of the year, according to teenagers on Twitter. And TikTok.
And TikTok. I was going to say.
Both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
You're so excited.
I was really hoping that she wouldn't pass along that message, but I guess I did open it up when I did say Mom can pick what she wants.
Are you really sad about it? Do you really think you're going to hate it?
I don't think I'm going to like it, but it's fine.
Okay. We'll try it. We'll see.
It's fine. I like watching trash.
Oh, you're starting early.
No, I'm just saying, like, I like watching terrible movies, so even if I don't like it, I'm at least going to have something to talk about.
Okay, there you go. Yes. We'll have good discourse. It'll be good discourse either way. Like,
Exactly.
Somebody in the video will like it. We know that it's Jenna.
Yes.
And so if nothing else, we'll have one person representing, and then people will be like, yay, go Jenna, we like you the best.
There you go.
But chances are pretty good I'll like it too, as long as there's not blood and guts. I tend to like stuff. So
I don't think it's like a musical.
That's what I asked specifically. Like, is there anything gross? And she said, if there was, it wasn't anything that she remembered. So it shouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's playing for a pretty young audience.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will love it. And I love musicals. So that's great for me.
Yeah.
Can feel your enthusiasm radiating through the screen.
Yeah, it's not what I would have picked, but it's fine.
I know. It's okay. We are stretching. We are growing. We are exposing ourselves to new genres and films. And I know you have to go, so I'm going to keep that short.
Yes. But, it's payback in a way because I picked
Dune?
Yeah. So I wouldn't feel too bad.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that because, I really did hate that movie.
Yeah, I know. So here we go.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell everyone to support your local library and call your mom.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.